Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Mateo, Frisco kid.
This is your boy Danny. It's the Real Talk Podcast Show. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming in, enjoying this new episode. It's number 2 in the show.
Yeah, so we're really excited for this new guest. It's San Fam, Frank. So we're definitely excited, and we're happy to have this guest. So let's introduce him. Something that personally that I know that he's been just experiencing through being in San Francisco is that he's just been coming out with dope designs, and he's a very authentic person. So here he is. Introduce yourself, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the warm handoff. My name is Frankie, owner and creative director of San Fam.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so Frankie, I want to hear a little about San Fam. Can you tell me a little bit, how did you come up with the name?
Yeah, man. Well, first, thank you for having me. Y'all are a blessing, so it's a privilege and an honor to share space with y'all. So the brand, you're asking like how it came, like what is it?
I'm just trying to understand, like how did you kind of come up with San Fam?
Yeah, man. So for me, it was first a project. It was never intended to be what it is today, which is like looking back, it just started with my first creative expression, which was poetry. I've always had a way with words. I was always attracted to wordplay and cleverness and like things that that get people thinking, conversating, talking. Right. So words have always been really sit like have a creative impact for me. So I did my first open mic when I was 16 at USF at Upper Bound. It's a college prep program in high school. Every summer we would go to USF. We'd be in the dorms, and like we have like a counselor, and then I would write like little poems for like shorties and like young Frankie, yeah, man, like so. But I wouldn't. It's not like I would like give them these like poems or anything. I would just write because it's just like more of a muse at the moment, know. And I wanted to put it on paper. So my counselor at the time, he was getting to know me, and once he found out, he was like, "Man, we're gonna do a talent show, and you're gonna perform." And I'm like, "Yo, chill." And he was like, "Nah, man, you should. Your words are very powerful. You should speak." Yeah. You shouldn't. I mean, I like what you write, but you should speak, is what he told me. So shout out to him. And so from there, like over the years, I've done just my own writing, and then I've also got into like rapping when I was 18, 19. Okay. So I did a few tracks. I did collaborations, and then I finally found my first creative home at Artillery AG. Shout out to the Artillery fam. Alexa and Ivan. So that's on 24th and Mission next to El Farolito.
Okay. It's like the plant shop kind of.
Yeah, bro. That place evolved, man. Back when I was there in 2012, I basically started working there because I just loved like all the art and all the representation of local artists. Word. Like they were the it was just all like in one spot, and I never, yeah, bro. Like, so they were like my first like exposure to like what that looks like. Word. And I never knew a world like that existed. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was really sheltered as a kid, Really? Definitely.
So like, how did you get out of your comfort zone, and like, was it just like communicating with people, like getting out your comfort zone, like going to like different events, or how did you get that exposure to like art, fashion, just like the culture you're in now?
Yeah. That one counselor, I think it was just people pushing me. They were like, it's like they saw something in me that I didn't see yet, but they saw it. And so they were like pushing me to do my first open mic. Alexa and Ivan at Artillery AG, they were pushing me to learn how to screen print, to create my own open mic. He was like, "Bro, we have a space. You could do an open mic here." Word. And so I did my first open mic called Word. And I did like 3 and it got bigger and bigger. I did the first one at Artillery, and I did another one there, and the second one was at an actual venue with the stage. And like by the second, third one, I was learning screen printing, and I was learning how to use Adobe Illustrator through Ivan and Alexa. They were just teaching me, and I was just, wanting to create my own projects. And so being exposed as putting myself out there on a mic, and then being exposed to Artillery, and them leading and teaching me, and seeing also same thing. They were just seeing that in me and just providing that space and opportunity. They build those bridges. All I had to do was cross them. You know what I mean? So, I was very blessed for people to see me and foresee like, my potential.
Yeah. So how did you take that? Like inspiration and make it to a project and then a business? Like, how did you make that execution happen?
Yeah, man. So my first project was on Illustrator was Kaepernick. Okay. When he did the knee. So I did a whole like, I was a huge fan of still am, of like what he represented, his message, super just like hit me like it made me feel something. So I did a silhouette of him, doing the knee. And at the time, I named the brand, quote unquote. I say that because I didn't name it like that, but the actual, at the time, I named it. It wasn't even San Fam. It was called REM. And
what does that stand for?
Rapid Eye Movement.
Okay. Rapid Eye Movement. What does that mean?
So basically, when we sleep, there's different stages of sleep, and REM sleep, REM sleep, is the stage of sleep when you're dreaming. That's one of the deepest levels of sleeping, and then that's when you're actually dreaming and you're resting and recovering. And so like a lot's going on. A lot of good things are going on within your body and mind. So, and the whole slogan is like follow your dreams, manifest your dreams. So making your dreams into reality. So that's where the thing came from. And that stems from studying my background in psychology and pursuing my bachelor's in psychology.
Oh, dope.
So
you went to college. I didn't even know this. So where did you go to school?
I went to SF State. I went to city first, and then I transferred to finish at State.
Oh, that's dope, man. So I like the fact that you're talking about like manifesting your dreams. So what would you say San Fam's if you know them, or like something that has like that foundation? You know what I mean? That those like foundations of like the brand, those pillars. Yeah. What would you say those are for San Fam?
So being grounded is definitely one of the pillars for me. And being connected, my interest in psychology, I thought it was to do like therapy or, do one-on-one stuff, but it was really a passion to be a connector to folk, for other folk, to be a bridge in the community, in making and manifesting whatever downloads I have in my mind. And so like definitely that's another pillar, being connected, being grounded. Another pillar would be, being unconditional with my intentions. So if I have an intention, it has to be unconditional. There can't be any strings to it, because then, I don't want to feel like I have like, I'm trying to force anything. Right. We've talked about that.
I mean, yeah, like we were just talking before this, like we want to do a collaboration piece, but the timing is just, maybe it's not right, or maybe it's just like we need more time, but eventually something's going to happen where we're going to do it. Like, it's better not to rush things because it doesn't come out on how you plan it to be. So definitely like you have to wait, be patient, and then like make that piece happen, or make that project wherever you're trying to do. I want to talk about, what does San Fam mean? Like maybe people don't know. People think it's San Fan, like San Fam or San Fran. Like,
right. So it sounds like it's like a family, if I'm not correct. So what kind of makes what joins you into the family, or like what considers you San Fam?
Yeah. So like for San Fam, it was born out of that, all those pieces and background that I've shared, like with with wordplay. So all these creative moments of solidarity that I've been having with open mics, with rap, with hip hop, with streetwear, with art, has inspired me to do a project and put it and I was like just writing different phrases. I wanted something to represent what I was feeling in that time and what I want to keep nourishing, and keep experiencing, because being a connector and being around people and being like just connected in general, we're social animals. Like we have this desire to be connected. Exactly. So for me, like I wanted to put that into words, and so I was just playing around and I came up with San Fam, which is short for San Francisco family, because family, for me is like everything. It's one of the most intentional connections, and it doesn't have to be blood. There's chosen family, and like a man that I look up to, his name's Roberto Hernandez. Shout out to you, Roberto. He spoke recently, and he said, as you get older, you start losing friends, and instead start getting relatives. So those people.
I like that, man. I definitely relate to that. I just want to talk a little bit about what you just said, because I feel like personally I was a very popular person during my high school era, just like meeting new people and just wanting to be a part of that. But when you start getting older, you realize that there's a lot of fake people that are maybe not trying to help you out, or obviously they have their own life, or you grow up and you have your attention of just like going to college or getting a job, right? And sometimes you just have that family or that cousin that you just kick it with, right? Or like that one best friend that you just like always kick it with. And it's just how life is, right? So definitely with that family aspect, I can relate to that.
I'm kind of curious, how long have you been doing this?
So the brand San Fam was born, the first project, it was a snapback, classic black with the green under brim, with the classic Old English. I grew up going to the San Jose flea market, La Pulga. Yeah. And one of the things I would always collect is the little homies.
Oh, definitely.
The little cars. You build your own car kits, and like, man, I was, I've always like been gravitated to just, connecting into my parents from Mexico, and they grew up in the same town. And so, being here, raised culturally as Mexican, like I wanted, how can I connect to that here other than my house? Right. So I found that not just with my family, but I found that in the Mission, and I found that in like when I would go to like San Jose, because it's like Latino Central, right. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. So it was just me again, just trying to connect into also my roots. Yeah.
I want to ask, what is your favorite piece that you've made, or a design process that you enjoy making that design?
Oh, okay. Well, you asked earlier about when did it start, right? So 2013, right? 2013 is when it started. So next year will be 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
You got anything planned for your 10-year anniversary?
Oh, yeah, man. So the main colors for San Fam is black and gold. Okay. If you ever see me vending, you always see the black and gold.
Does that mean anything?
Well, I think it was just, I don't even know how that even happened, to be honest. I think it was like, if I even think about it, like I never questioned it. It just kind of happened. It just happened. And shout out to Stefan Anadon. He's the original artist who did the original script for the cursive San Fam logo, and then this one here on the hat, the SF logo. Yeah, man, that was but for in terms of plans, black and gold, I want to do a whole black and gold like collection. So I want to do like a Satan black bomber jacket, black on black bomber jacket with like I want to create like a 10-year anniversary patch and to put it on the arm. Fire. And then I want to just have like, just the logo, and I want to have like, the SF logo in the front, the San Fam in the back, or the San Fam in the front, the SF logo maybe on the other arm. Just something like, that's probably it's going to be like that, just so people see it's San Fam, and then, and the 10-year patch. And I do want to like, create, re-release a lot of hats, that the original hat that had the black and gold, and just have a lot of black and gold like product. It'll be like, and that maybe I'll most likely that'll be like when I do it's gonna be an event, and I just talking about it now, it would be dope if the dress code was black and gold.
Okay,
like everyone come in black and gold.
Let us know.
You heard it here first.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I haven't shared this with anybody, so y'all first. So, but yeah. What was your question before about the projects?
So what is like your favorite design that you've made?
Mm-hmm.
And if you could talk about the design process when you make designs.
Oh yeah, man. My favorite is probably my latest one. It's a rose. I don't have it here.
Is it this one?
No, this one's just a photograph by my homie Zeus. Shout out to Zeus. But it's sold out.
Oh,
but
so
like,
how good is it the design that you made for breaking?
Power in the Breaking. Yeah. So that's my favorite one right now, because it's technically the first design by scratch that I put out to the world.
Okay.
All my projects, and what makes San Fam what it is, it's collaborative with other Frisco artists, creatives that have their own narratives, that at some point in time we connect, and then we just organically, we talked about this, like just collab. Right. And so like either myself or the other person, we both have a download. My brand is very relationship based. So it's like the people I work with is like, we have like a history, we've connected, we have a connection, that's kind of that's the root of every collaboration. So everything's very intentional. The rose is, that I did was I designed it during the pandemic, and it's basically.
Oh wait, hold on. So you make your own designs, like you draw them out and then you get them done, or how does that work?
Yeah. So, I love my favorite program is Adobe Illustrator. Right away, just vectors, because you can resize them as big as small as you want. They still stay crispy, and it's easy access to like put it in embroidery, get it screen printed. You know what I'm saying? It's the right file right away. One of my newer favorite programs is Procreate, because oh yeah, dude, it's so much fun, man. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it feels like you're a kid or something. He's writing, but it's with all the brushes and everything. So Procreate, on the iPad, I have it on my iPad Pro, which I got on my 30th birthday. Shout out to my honey Jessie. She's a real one. She fundraised with amongst our friends and family to get me an iPad Pro.
Yeah. Wifey's doing God's work.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, she's another person that sees these potentials in me as well. So, I got into like, using Procreate, and I drew that rose. I drew it on Procreate. And so, yeah, and from there I learned how to like vectorize it, because it doesn't automatically vectorize through the program. But it's my favorite design, because again, it's the first one I really put out there. And at the same time, it was during the pandemic, which, for me personally, it was a lot of inner like, exploring like my inner world, who I am as a individual, where I'm going, which led to like my own personal healing journey. And that's what the rose represents. It represents healing, and the whole project is called Power in the Breaking.
Oh man, that's beautiful. So I kind of wanted to ask, we're here in Made in the City right now. So can you tell us
Vince,
about,
man.
Shout out to Vince. Can you tell us a little about why are we here, or what are you doing here?
Yeah. So basically, I am a featured brand in the shop. I am a mentee to Vince. Nothing we agreed on. It just kind of happened organically. Word. Me and him, San Fam and Made in the City have been like, we've been creatively like looking, and seeing each other, and it's like you're in the NBA and you play for one team and you play in another team, but you see that one player, like, man, like, I look up to this guy. Right. Like, I look up to this person, and like, I want to, aspire to be, I'll take notes,
like a role model.
Yeah, he's definitely a role model to me, man.
Talk about that more. Like, how is he a role model? Like, what is he doing that stands out from the other people that you've met?
Oh man, he just goes above and beyond. Like, he has his own mobile like bus that he got painted, in like Muni like lettering. I mean, we're in this space that he built with his stepdad, that he has a replica of a Muni bus stop, like all those things. He said he built that all himself, with some help, but that's essentially all him. Right. Those signs there, this brick wallpaper, basically he's someone that just makes things happen, and he literally, with no hesitation, and that just still amazes me, like how he gets things done. And I saw it with his branding. I saw it with his, his projects, his T-shirts, his own designs. How he represents the city is very authentic, right, and very just straight. Repping from the mission. He, that's his roots. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it was called Made in the Mission, and I supported then, and then it's now called Made in the City. So yeah, man. For me, it's just his work ethic. Man, his determination.
Sometimes when you're a hard worker, man, you stand out, because we live in a society where it's just like a lot of people don't want to work anymore. They just want to like chill, get paid, and that's it, right? But if you put that extra effort, you just look different because you're putting that extra mile. And yeah, I love, especially entrepreneurs, people like us, right? Like us, we're always hungry, we're always passionate, we always want to like learn more and grow. So yeah, definitely could relate to that.
Yeah. And so I'm here because like when he was opening the store like a couple years ago, he reached out to a bunch of us, like local brands, and including myself, and we had like the Zoom call, and he was just kind of just breaking down like hey man, like I'm opening up the store, and I want to invite y'all to potentially share space with me, which would mean like you'll have like either a rack or in a part of the space, and then we'll fully represent your brand however you want it to be. And so, like when he reached out to me, I thought it was like a dope idea. Mm-hmm. At the time, I only had maybe like 3 projects, nothing crazy, and that's another thing too, like, in terms of the brand, is that like I personally had like multiple like hiatuses, you know what I mean? And for me, that was just like, looking back at it, it needed to happen, because once I had that Zoom meeting, it kind of woke me up like, yo, like I need to, show up for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's showing up for me now by offering this opportunity, and I need to show up for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like all those folk in the past, like they build the bridge, I just got to cross it. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm the only one holding myself back at that point. Like, I'm literally giving an opportunity to be at a store. Like, that's right. Crazy, bro. I never thought like I would be at a store, that soon. And so I kept it real with him. I told him like, man, I love the idea. I was like, give me a year, And so, earlier this year, like in January, he was like, bro, just move in, man. Just bring your stuff, bro. Like, stop playing. Like, bring your stuff. And so I was like, all right. So I work at the store, and I have and that payment, instead of him paying me, I'm using those funds to fund my space.
Right. And I feel like you were talking about how you're like learning from him. So
yes.
It's kind of like an internship while like you're like learning how to like run more of the business, because like you're learning how to make production, make your own kind of product. Yeah. And that's like what you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, more than anything, once I moved into the store, because up to that point, it felt like there was a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of like challenges. But once I moved into the store, and him opening his doors and being super welcoming, and like literally, I only had, that rack is full now, but when I started, it was like maybe 3 shirts. And he was like, and as soon as I moved in, he looked at my rack. He was like, is that it? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, man, we got to fill up that rack, you know, ASAP. So he was already like pushing me. He's still pushing me. And like, and so he was like, I was like, all right, well, he's like, I'll teach you. And so he taught me, man. He taught me he put me on so much game, bro. Like, I don't think like I can ever repay him, but like he knows I got his back, and I really feel like he got mine. So shout out to Sente for real, and that essentially ignited a fire in me, bro, to really just like go full force with it, you know.
I think like that's really important. Just want to take that step, especially if you feel like you don't know if you want to take that step, or you may feel like you're not ready. Sometimes that step is just the one you need. And that's like fuel to yourself. Like, okay, you know what? I'm not sure if I want to do that, if I'm ready. Boom, I'm gonna just do it. You know, just don't even think, just do it. And like you said, that is just a push that you needed. And I feel like that's very important for a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people just starting off. They don't know how to do it or what to do. And, you know, that's something important. We just got to focus, just not even think about it, just do it. And I kind of wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
What do you think about new entrepreneurs, new advice for them? You know, a lot of people wanting to start brands or wanting to make music or want to do any type of artistic, creative things. Yeah. Do you have any advice for these new listeners?
Yeah, I think it's super important to nourish the relationships that are really important. You know what I mean? Like, there's folk here, and these all, you know, I see Ray, I see Norman, and I see my honey. Like, these are folk that I've always made sure I intentionally like stay connected with, because they ground me and they see me and they support me unconditionally. You know, Ray here, he's you know, he does, just this year he's been doing like the visuals, and that took the brand to another level. So shout out to Ray, like big thank you, man. And like, you know, even before that, he reached out to me because of the brand, and we've collaborated through Streetwear Rise, and we did, you know, a project at Soma Filipinas district. He opened the doors for me. He welcomed me into the cultural district there, which is now a cultural district.
That's beautiful.
And at the time that we did our project called I Am Kapwa, which is essentially aligns with San Fam's like mission and vision and slogan, which is, for San Fam, it's I am because we are. That's the message from San Fam. And Kapwa, it means essentially the same thing. I am you, you are me. And
is that in Tagalog?
Right.
Oh.
He says yes.
Yeah.
Well, more or less.
No.
And for me, you know, learning more and more about my roots, you know, with Mexico is like, you know, there it's called Inlak Esh, you know. So like when I learned about I am because we are, that stems from Africa, and a certain region in Africa, and it's called Ubuntu. So it's a worldwide phenomenon that aligns with like connection and acknowledging, you know, that we are each other's mirrors. I am you, you are me. Yeah. And so like in an unconditional way, you know, very genuine way. So so for San Fam, it's like, you know, I'd like to, you know, put out, it's the Frisco one, the Frisco version, you know? So, yeah, man, I would say for the entrepreneurs, just stay connected to people who really look out for you, who really care about you. Never lose touch with those people, like, because those are the people that are going to ground you and remind you why you do what you do. And those are the people who are going to show up for you when, you know, you can't even show up for yourself, you know? So just stay connected with real people that truly care about you.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about the brands in San Francisco. You know, there's like Cookies, there's Dying Breed, there's San Fam, there's a lot of worldwide. There's all these brands, right? What would you say a brand that's always caught your eye, that's always been like, oh, or like a brand like Black Scale too? They're from San Francisco. Like, what's a brand that you always looked up to when you're from here, and that you were like, oh, one day I would want to be like them?
Oh man, well, you already said it. It's crazy. Black Scale.
All right.
I mean, like, in middle school, I mean, I always loved rocking my Dickies, Chucks, tall tees, and then from there I went from like, the pea coats with the little anchor on them, you know what I mean? Like the little Eskimo puffer jackets and like, man.
What year was that when you were dressing like that?
Man, so, I mean, I graduated high school 08, like I told you. So this was like, I was like 13, so like 03, 02. Like it was during like the era of the hyphy movement, you know what I mean? And so like, wearing our stunner shades, our long dog tag chains, like with the little pictures on them and shit.
I mean, think about it now. It's like, who like it
Fashion,
just look like
fashion
crazy.
just evolves, just over time.
Yeah, I mean, but I love being a participant.
Yeah,
I love soaking in. I love being connected to the culture. Like it's just, and then from there to, it's not just with music. With I hooped as a kid. And and so that's my sport. Even though I'm shorty, but I'm quick. You know what I mean? Like but yeah, man. Like, but as I got older and I started being more aware of like local brands, Black Scale was the one that super just caught my attention right away.
I mean, Black Scale, I would say Black Scale, Diamond, Pink Dolphin when I was growing up. Like those are just brands that I was like, fuck, I really like those brands. Had kind of different tone of like how we built the brand Lotta, but there's definitely been a lot of talent in San Francisco, don't you think? Like there's a lot of creators out here that's like always trying to build something new, and it just like becomes a trend in different cities. So
yeah, man, that Pink Dolphin too. So I would say tied with Black Scale. I love Pink Dolphin, man. When they did the pink, like the cross thing with the Japanese characters, I thought that was sick, bro. Like and then my favorite project of theirs, like they did like a whole like a visual music video lookbook thing, and like I still keep that ingrained in my head because now that I work with Ray, I want to create my own like visual lookbooks too. And so like they did this thing called the wood grain collection. So they had like the ghost in like a wood grain, like within like its character, and like all the patterns like this wood grain pattern. And so like I copped that right away. So Pink Dolphin too, man. I mean those are my role models still too, man. Right. Like
I mean the dope thing is they're from the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
A lot of people probably think they're like from Los Angeles. So I mean, eventually they went there, right?
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah.
What is like your ultimate goal seeing San Fam? Like say, I don't know, 5 to 10 years from now. Like, do you see yourself having your own store? Do you see yourself going to different pop-ups in different cities? Like, how do you envision that?
Well, I definitely want to like, more in the near future. I want to do like a college tour. Like we've ended at Skyline together. Right. I just recently went back to Skyline and for the Latinx Heritage Month and event, and it was so much fun. Like, and at the same time, I'm connecting with folk I've never connected with before. So like that kind of just gave me an aha moment. Like I need to expand the city more. So like, vend at the Hate Street Festival, vend at different districts, come back to the Soma, you know what I mean? And like, I want to do I want to go to city college events. I want to go to Skyline SF State. I want to like, connect with the college kids there. Yeah. More of the youth is what I'm getting at. Cause I want to start building a bridge towards the youth. I feel ready to do that,
That's what makes sense. Right?
Yeah, man. So, and then in terms of more long term, I definitely want my own space, an own, to have, but it'll be like, it won't be just retail. It'll be a space where like, it'll be like a resource space. Ooh. So because, coming up, like there was a lot of folk that just wouldn't really like, share information as, openly, you know what I mean? And like, I've learned a lot growing as a brand and as an individual, to really like, humble myself and like also understand that if we don't share resources from each other, if we don't stay connected, we're not going to grow as a collective community. Right. there's no way.
Right.
There's no way. Like, it's all gonna be for like 1 or 2 people, and that ain't lit. So like for me, and what San Fam has, like, you know, also molded me is to ground me into that lifestyle, that way of life, that, you know, to be an open book, to share resources, to stay connected, to have these conversations, you know what I mean? Because that's how we're all grow, and that's how I'll stay connected, you know? Anytime I ever like feel otherwise, and I don't feel like I'm genuinely like, you know, trying to communicate with somebody, you know what I mean? I want to share, I want to talk, you know what I mean? I want to connect. So, you know, I do want to have a store when I you know, down the line, next 5 years, and that's the plan. You know, with my honey, in particular, because she wants to do, wants to work with me. We want to work together, team up, and like have a space where it's, for not only like a creative, like retail store, but it's also a creative resource for like up and coming, like brands or entrepreneurs that, like, you know, if they need embroidery, if they need this and need that, they want to learn, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, the things that I'm learning here, I want to teach. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like a workshop place where they could like learn.
Yeah,
right?
Kind of like what the Youth Art Exchange is now at over there on Mission Geneva. Like that spot,
I see that.
that spot is popping. You know, maybe that'd be a cool episode down the line. But yeah, like, and then for Jessie, she'll like my honey, she'll like, she'll come in with a healing aspect of the space. So we want to have you know, we also want to have it for workshops, like healing circles. Like, you know, me, I'm part of personally, I'm part of a men's healing circle where once a month I would unite with other men, and we would, you know, like, you know, just talk, have space to talk. So we want to create a space like that, her for like women's circles and me for men's circles, because we also need to have space for that too. You know what I mean? Because it's important, especially for like us men, like to like, you know, share space with each other, listen to each other, feel heard, feel seen, you know, as a man. Like, I didn't realize how a lot of men, we don't feel heard or seen, you know what I mean? And so like, you know, like that's something that you know, I want to be a part of that change. Like I want my fellow, you know, men to feel heard and seen. And so me being in that men's circle, I feel that, you know, and I want to, you know, be part of those experiences personally when I talk to folk, but also like intentionally, like, you know, like having a healing space, like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like what we plan to do.
That's dope.
That's it.
So for the people that don't know San Fam, where would they be able to buy gear and everything online?
Yeah, man. So sanfam.org is a website, and then Made in the City here at 5750 Mission, in the outer Mission and Lara, we have all the products are here, you know. So whether you come to the store, I'd rather y'all come to the store because you can see it's a dope ass space. It's a
dope store.
You know what Vince says? He's like, I just want people to feel like they're just in the block outside. You know, inside but outside. Kind of they did a little, you know, a play on that, and it's just, you know, I'd rather y'all come to the store. But if you can't, sanfam.org, and you know, IG is sanfam_, where you can find where I'm be popping up next, and who I'm collabing with next and stuff like that. So,
all right. So last question we want to ask is, what's your struggle? People that know a lot of means struggle in Italian, and we want to know what's your struggle. It could be anything, from fashion or mental health or anything that you struggled with.
Yeah, man. It definitely was mental health. When I had all those hiatuses, I was able to finally find a therapist and get therapy. And I just kind of like, for now, I've graduated from the therapy. So thank you, man. Thank you. And it allowed me to start my own journey inward. You know what I mean? Yeah. And really get to know myself more. And Little Frank too, because like tapping in with Little Frank is a whole nother thing too, man. Because
Little Frank is your kid?
No. Little Frank is me as a kid. Oh. Yeah. So like what, you know, kind of like the term is reparenting yourself. So I'm learning how to reparent myself. So my struggle right now is continuing to reparent myself. is staying grounded, you know, continuing to prioritize, as I said before, like what really matters in you know, in life. For me personally, like, is the things that I've mentioned. And so like, that's like for me, it's a daily thing. It's like, it's a day by day thing, you know. Some days are easier, some days are harder, but like, you know, it's very nourishing, super nourishing. So just maintaining that maintenance.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming, man. It's an honor, man, and hopefully we do a collaboration. And,
We will, man.
Kick it more. But appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.